Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to what was supposed to be an episode of Funs with Huns, but it's gonna be a lot more spicier than that. As you can see, Regia Marina is coming to World of Warships. The Italian Navy has finally been announced, and we have some sort of, well, not some sort of, we have the images of all 10 Italian cruisers. Yes, it will be cruisers only for now. And a tier 10 destroyer, but we still don't know much about it. And we have some pictures and we have the stats. Now this is all super work in progress. We haven't even gotten them yet, but they will be given to super testers and community contributors and developers and so on to test them out soon. So you will be seeing these on the high seas on the live server in World of Warships, where we will be simply just testing and hopefully making them good, balanced, in the same time powerful and entertaining and fun to play. There's definitely something, I won't call it game breaking, but there is definitely something interesting and different, similar but very different, coming to World of Warships with the Italian Navy. So let's get right into it, shall we? We'll use actually this plate. Alright, so let's scroll all the way to beginning. Researchable Italian tier 1 to 10 cruisers, as well as Italian premium. Let me actually just stop the music. I feel like I'm shouting right now over the music. It's better like this. So, researchable Italian tier 1 to 10 cruisers, as well as Italian premier tier 5 cruiser Genoa, and Italian tier 10 destroyer Paolo Emilio will be added to the game in the upcoming Super Test session. Italian cruisers have special consumable called fuel smokes, which is one of the very, very new interesting things, and the unique ammunition semi armor piercing shells. Good maneuverability and high salvo weight with long reload time. Now, when they say long reload time, they mean it. Semi-armor piercing shells have the features of two types of shells at once. Semi-armor piercing shells can ricochet, but the angles, as you can see, are pretty insane. The 14.3 caliber rule will apply. If the ricochet does not happen, the mechanics of semi-armor piercing shells is similar to high explosive ones. Semi-armor piercing shells don't have overpenetrations. Can't cause a fire, this is important. Damage and penetration is better than high explosive shells. Semi-armor piercing shells deal only 10% of their damage to destroyers. So, a couple of super important things to immediately note. You will have these semi-armor piercing shells, which can't cause fires. So, my question that they didn't really mention here is, are we going to have HE and semi-AP? Or are we going to have semi-AP and AP? Or is it going to be just semi-AP? Now, this is one of the things that I probably could ask and get the information, but I've started the video now, so it's too late. One of the things that I'm curious about, so if we do have the regular AP, and then instead of HE, you have this semi-armor piercing, which will be doing damage, a lot of damage, if it doesn't ricochet, and it's a very small chance that it actually will. So you will be doing a lot of damage without the chance of fire. The way I could describe this to you, if I could, the impression that this leaves on me is, imagine British battleships. Imagine something like Conqueror shooting at you. Of course, it's not going to be that powerful, but the way that I want to explain this to you, imagine if a Conqueror shoots you and the damage that it does without the fire. Imagine if every time a Conqueror hits you, he will do a large amount of damage, you know, sometimes destroy modules and stuff, but he will never set you on fire. This is one of the suggestions that I had for Conqueror for a very long time. Unfortunately, Conqueror isn't getting changed, but this is what we may be looking to with these Italian Navy cruisers. So this is going to be very interesting. Semi-armor piercing shells are designed to deal stable high damage when armor piercing shells are not effective. So there we go. We have semi-armor piercing and armor piercing. So there will be no HE shells. You will be either shooting AP or you will be semi-AP. You will have, with these cruisers, you will have 0 chance of fire. Now, I don't know, will they have secondaries and will they have fire chance on the secondaries maybe if you go super close, but I doubt you will want to do that. But in other words, your chances of fire as a cruiser are going to be, well, non-existent, which is very, very revolutionary, very, very new to cruisers. Yes, you could argue we have British cruisers who are basically the same, unless you go premium. You have these APs and APs only, and they have a massive problem against battleships. Unless the battleship is going to be close mid-range, sometimes it's even okay at mid to long range, but mostly you want them close to mid-range broadsiding. You won't be doing that much damage. You will have to fire hundreds and hundreds of shells before you actually, have decent amount of damage, and he can pretty much heal everything. So with these, you will be doing a lot more damage, but you won't be able to set the fire. And one of the main ways for a cruiser to bring down a battleship is by fire. So we'll see how that will work. One definitely revolutionary and new thing that's coming to World of Warships with the Italian Navy is this: fuel smokes. This is a different version of the smoke screen that we already have. They are almost similar to usual smoke, but a ship equipped with fuel smokes is able to be concealed at full speed. So what this means is you will be going full speed, and instead of like any British cruiser that has a smoke screen, let's give it, for example, Minotaur or Belfast, whatever, you're going and then you realize, oh, I actually need to stop here and open fire because I want to farm, or oh my god, I'm spotted, I'm gonna die, I need to smoke myself up. You can't just turn on the smoke. Even in a destroyer, you need to start slowing down and then turn on the smoke. I mean, you can turn on the smoke before slowing down, but you're basically just wasting it. It's always best if you go to like medium to low speed and then turn it on, because then the smoke that you're generating behind yourself is actually, you're staying within it. Because if you create a circle and you're in the middle when you create it, by the time the next one gets, created, you need to still be in this one. And then you're doing it like the sign of Audi, you're within the circle of within the circle and so on. But you need to be going at a relatively slow speed, which is usually like 15, 16 to 18 knots. When the smoke screen gets generated, that you're actually going to be inside. The difference with this is you will be able to go full speed, and when you need the smoke, you will just click it and you will be smoke screened, and you can continue to move full speed and do whatever you want to do, and you will still be concealed. There will be absolutely nothing that can get you out of your own smoke. Like, I can't see a scenario in which once you click it, you will be out of your smoke. You won't have the problem of people pushing you out or anything like that, because this smoke is designed to be used when moving. And this will be an extremely powerful weapon, and because it solves one major issue that cruisers have. How many times have you found yourself in a situation where you really want to disengage, but you can't? If you turn broadside, you will die. If you stop and try to reverse, you will die. If you continue, you will die. And you can't go stealth, which means you will die. This is an easy fix. You can just throw the risk out of the window, and you can throw RNG and skill out of the window. All you need is you click and you're concealed. Unless, of course, you are too close to someone and the bloom will screw you over. You fire and then you start your smoke, but you still have that gun bloom for 20 seconds, and someone is close enough to detect you even after you fired. But I mean, Des Moines has like 8.2 penalty from smoke, so you will have to be really, really close with these cruisers to actually get punished for that, to be able to not shoot and get away, or if you're in someone's radar range. But that, that goes for everything. The radar is a magical spell, just like Hydro, and they see through bloody everything, even land. So no smoke will keep you safe. So I'm very curious to see how is this going to be used. Are we looking at a new meta approaching? Are we maybe going to be having Henrys and Zaos, Hindis, and all that jazz completely replaced with Italian cruisers? We will see. Italian cruisers will be able to hide from enemy ships or aircraft without sacrificing speed and the ability to maneuver. Fuel smokes will last from 25, this is with the lowest tier where it appears, to 40 seconds and disperse in 10 seconds. What this means, for example, this is the tier 10. Tier 10 will be generating the smoke screen for 40 seconds, and then you have additional 10 seconds on the last buff. Of course, this puff is, I think, going to be like 510 meters. And the information that I got from some of the other community contributors is the regular smoke screen size is between 450 and 650. So these smoke screens won't be exactly super small. They will be a very decent size. So unless you generate that last buff and you're still going full speed, you will probably leave your own smoke screen after 3, 4, 5 seconds. And then the smoke will stay a couple of seconds behind you. But if you want to, and you slow down in the last buff, you can have an effective of 40 plus 10. That's a 50-second smoke screen. That's just one ship. Two of these can be a serious problem. Italian cruisers are equipped with a small number of torpedoes with not the highest damage and speed, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. This is where they describe why they went with the names they did for some of the cruisers, because some of these were never existed, and they were plans in future, but some of them were not named. Pause the video and read if you're interested. I will now go to the actual ships. Italian cruiser Eritrea, the tier 1, hit points 8.1k, plating 6mm, semi-armor piercing, that's the only choice. It will have 4 guns, 120 mil. I won't really be reading all of this to you. You can read it for yourself. If you want to examine it closely, you will be able to just, pause the video and read. And this is the actual picture if you want to stare at this and have a closer examination, of course. What I will be doing is talking a bit more about the tier 5, tier 8, and tier 10. The rest of these I will just put like this so you can actually take a look at them, study them for yourself, compare them in port with the existing ones, and come to your own conclusions. I really don't want to make the entire video about talking every single detail of every single of these 10, 11 ships that are coming. So, like I said, pause the video and take a look for yourself. What I can tell you immediately is there's something weird about a tier 5 one, and let's say something weird about a tier 10 one, and we will also go a bit in detail over the tier 8, because 8 and 10 are usually the most attractive tiers. So I don't know if I showed this one. I think I did. Okay, so as you've noticed, tier 1, 2, and 3 only have Damacon. And tier 4 gets the fighter. That's the new thing. Here's the tier 4. Alberto di Giussano, I presume. I might as well just read the names if I can, right? Taranto, Nino Bixio, Eritrea. And then we come to the tier 5. Monte Cuccoli or Monte Cuccoli. I'm honestly not sure. I'm sure there's going to be an Italian in the chat or in the comments. Trying to do this, or we could just go into Google Translate and find out for ourselves, right? I mean, why the hell not? Give me a sec. Google Translate. And we go here. Detect language. Italian, read it.
Montecacoli.
Montecacoli. I doubt that's how she's supposed to say it, but okay. That doesn't sound very Italian to me. Anyway, the Tier 5 Tech Tree Cruiser, the Cuccoli, or whatever you read it, will have 26.5 thousand HP, plating of 13mm. Now here's the interesting part. It will have 4 times 2, which is 8 guns of 152mm, almost 15km range. Reload time will be 13 seconds, and in case you haven't noticed, these shells are going to be pretty fast with a good Sigma. This is the ship, and now I'll compare it immediately to the premium tier 5, which I believe is going to be at the bottom. Yeah, here we go. So Italian cruiser Genoa tier 5, 30.1 thousand hit points, 13mm plating, 4 times 2, 203mm, firing range 13.1. I am not sure what the logic is in this game to give light cruisers bigger firing range than heavy cruisers. And one very, very important thing is the premium version, the Genoa, which is this one, does not have the fuel smoke screen. It has shorter range, much longer reload, bigger caliber guns, and no fuel smoke. While Montecuccoli gets the fuel smoke, the brand new revolutionary smoke. I think you get it first time at tier 5. Smaller caliber guns with better reload and more range. I mean, okay. So let's go back to tier 5. The reload is 13. Genoa has 20. That's significant. Like a tier 5 cruiser with 20-second reload. That sounds harsh. Torpedo tubes, as you can see, they will have 1, 2, or I believe 3 at bigger tiers on each side. 5.33mm. Maximum damage will be very low. The range will be pretty damn high, 10 to 12. And very low speed. Tier 5 has 47. Higher tiers have like double, so reload time is nothing special. And concealment will be pretty low. You can take a look at the AA numbers here as well. It's all very much listed. You can see that a regular tier 5 gets the fuel smokes. Duration of 25 seconds with dispersion of 10 seconds. Reload time 4 minutes. Premium version 3 minutes. So this reminds me very much of Perth. You have the smoke. You can use it very much. But be careful once you run out. Charges 1 with premium consumables 2 with superintendent 3. And you get, of course, the fighter. The tier 6 one, 34.5k with 16mm plating. They are now sticking with 203mm. The range goes significantly higher. The reload time is 15 seconds, so it's 5 seconds faster than Genoa at tier 5, the premium version. Sigma is going to stay at around 205. Slower shell velocity than the tier 5. Maximum dispersion, torpedoes, yada yadas, like I said once again, and the fuel smoke. Still 25 seconds. You can pause and look for yourself. This one is Trento. Tier 7, the Zara. Hit points 37.1, plating 16, 4 times 2, 203s. Range goes down again, 15.8. Same reload of 15 seconds. Sigma 2, faster shell velocity again. And the same deal. This is how the baby looks like. Then we go to the tier 8, Verona. Hit points 42.8 thousand with a plating of 25 millimeters. Main battery 3x3 203 millimeter. Firing range 15.3. Again, it goes down. Reload time 16 seconds, 1 second higher. And very fast shell velocity with good sigma. Torps, AA defense, yada yadas, plus fighter, fuel smoke, and Damacon. This is how the thing looks like. So if we were to do this and leave this thing like here, and we will go in game. I will also just switch like this. Give me a second. So we go, for example, to Atago. Oh, that's a lot of stuttering there. Atago has 25 millimeter plating, which is what Verona will have. My apologies. Here we go. Well, actually, I will have to do like this. 40,100. That is the Atago. Where is it? Actually, this is way too much stutter. Let's just do it. Simple. Boom. So this one will have a bit more HP with the same plating. Now, they did say here that the plating is 25 millimeter. What I don't know right now is the 25 millimeter everywhere, or is that just the tip of the bow, which is the same of Atago. The main battery is 3x3 203 millimeter guns, which you can compare to Baltimore, with the difference that this thing reloads like 6 seconds longer. Of course, faster shell velocity, and it has torpedoes, and it has this, smoke screen. If we go to tier 9, hit points are 44.8 with still plating of only 25. It gets 4x3 203 millimeter guns with a range of 16.7. Reload time will be 20 seconds. I'm guessing there will be an upgrade at this tier already to just, drop it for a couple of seconds, but that's still going to be a lot. Fast shell velocity, good sigma, dispersion. Once again, 2x4 torps on each side, 13.5 kilometer range. Like, that is Yu-Yang range. That is seriously long range for the cruiser, and the speed goes up to 56, which is slight 1 knot faster than Benson torps. So this is already going to be slightly better, but once again, probably not that great. You can take a look at the AA numbers, and now, of course, it's a tier 9, so you get a repair party. This is how the thing looks like. These are torpedoes here. So I honestly do expect pretty damn good torpedo angles, considering they're in the open. But the question is, how easily will you be losing these? Will it have the problem like the Tirpitz? And the last thing is Italian cruiser Milano, tier 10. Main battery, 5x3 203 millimeter guns. Firing range 17.1, which is really not that much for a tier 10. Maximum blah blah blah. Reload time 20 seconds. Maximum dispersion 151. Sigma 205. Fast, initial velocity. I don't know how much drag they will have. 2x3. So once again, we lose torpedo in numbers. With pretty much the same stats here. You can see the AA defense of 8x2 65 mils. 10x4 37 mils, and 12x2 90 mils. If this is going to be anything like the Roma, these AA guns won't have that big of a range. I think she's like 4.5, 5.5 tops AA range, which is a bit of a pickle, but we'll see. It will have Damacon, fuel smokes, fighter, and repair party. And this is how it looks like. It reminds me of Mogami, where this turret will have no problem firing. This turret will probably have no problem firing, but this one will probably only be able to fire at medium to long range. Otherwise, you will have to broadside. How much will you have to broadside to be able to use this one? I don't know, but I would say like decently. And you also have 2x3 in the back. So this is going to be the first cruiser in the game that is going to have 15 203mm guns. The only cruiser in the game right now that has 15 guns, at least in turrets and higher tier, is Mogami, but those are 155s. This thing will get 203s. The reload will be 20 seconds. Hopefully we will be able to drop that down for, I don't know, 2.5 seconds, something like that. But that will still be a lot, because if we compare this to a Zao or something like that, they reload 13.5 or something, which is extremely long reload. They don't have any special reload booster or anything like that, so when they meant high alpha and long reload, it's true. But of course, this new, completely new smoke screen, I'm very curious to see this. Are we going to be seeing new meta where ships are going to be legit couple of these, takes control of one flank, and they can, if they manage it properly, they can pretty much stay smokescreen all the time, but they will have to be clustered together. Is this going to be combined with Henry's or Zao's or something else? Because these smokes, I expected these smokes to be legit really, really small in size, like a brand new revolutionary smoke screens. But if this smoke is going to be decent size, with smokescreen expert, you'll be easily hiding a couple of ships. So you go hardcore on someone, you really push in, and when you realize that you need to disengage and run away, you just turn on your smokescreen and off you go. All three of you, you're just like Transformers. Merge together, get really close, we're turning left, and you all turn left and you all get away. So I am very, very interested in trying these new cruisers out and seeing how good they're actually going to be with these super long reloads, but these smoke screens. I don't know. This could be revolutionary because this smoke screen could really be something else. And it's not that short. Like, yes, it's 3 minutes cooldown, which will probably be dropped a bit with flags and so on and captain skills, but it's still going to be 2.5-3 minute cooldown where you can use only 40-50 seconds of it. But like I said, a couple of these things working together, man, I can't wait to try these out in divisions and see what crazy stuff we can come up with. Let me also see if this will now be working without the damn stutters. It should be. 1 second. I'm actually just always having stutters recently in World of Warships. I have no idea why. Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to compare the stats of the ship that you can see. And like, for example, Zao with 40k against this thing that will have 51.8, 25mm plating. Zao has it the same. It has 30 here, of course. We don't know how much Milano will have. You have artillery 4x3, where Milano gets 5x3, 13.7 reload against 20-second reload. Then you can see the dispersion and range and initial shell velocity, which is pretty similar. Concealment, well, of course, I'm not sure if anything is listed here, probably. Surface detectability 15.7. That is probably without... I'm not sure that they mount the best... Yeah, it's without upgrades and without captains, so that can be dropped significantly. Anyway, I'm very, very curious to see what's gonna come out from this. And let me know in the comments below what you dudes think about this whole new fuel smoke and semi-armor piercing shells, and how do these new Italian cruisers look to you, and what do you think about it in general. I was really having an interesting thing trying to come up with what am I going to be talking about in this Funs with Huns and this episode, and then these babies came up and I'm like, oh yeah, we're doing these. Anyway, thank you once more for watching. Leave a like or a dislike, share, comment. Let me know what you think. Have a good rest of the day. Good luck, and I'll see you soon.